Hey, I'm Cody Beals. Come check out my Wattage Cottage. So I designed and built this space over the last couple years to have a more functional and inspiring place to train. I basically spent the first 10 years of my career training in very scrungy basements, and so this has been a huge upgrade. I definitely overcompensated for the basement a little, 11-foot tall ceilings, 7 windows, and this place basically does triple duty as my training space, my office space, and also just a place to chill outside of the house. So this is where I have my bike set up all the time, Shimano equipped Ventum Tempest, and I've got the Wahoo Kicker Move trainer and headwind fan. Over here, I find it really functional to have a height adjustable desk. This basically allows me to dial in the height for whether I'm on my road bike or tri bike or sitting in an office chair. And here I've got a curve monitor, which I find really nice for immersive Zwifting. And I've got a sound system too, but most of the time I just use noise canceling earbuds. I find this cuts down on the white noise a lot and just makes it more relaxing to train. And I've got my snacks right here within arm's reach. I find it's really critical to have everything I need to stay on the bike right within arm's reach. Just makes it as easy as possible. And then when I'm done training, I've got a nap zone up here in this little loft I built, as well as some gear storage with this rolling ladder I made to get to it. And then I insulated the place really well to keep it cozy, but also to, cut down on the noise for neighbors when I'm yelling on the trainer. And I have this heat pump to keep it warm and cool in the summer, and fireplace for vibes out here. And then just outside the door, my hot tub for recovery after training. And training's never really going to be easy, but this keeps it as functional and accessible and cozy as possible, especially in the winter right now.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, early January, gearing up for the 2026 triathlon season. And I live in Seattle. It's usually rainy, it's cold, not a great time of year to be riding outside. So I have a 4-hour ride today. I'm doing it indoors, and I'm gonna show you guys my pain cave. It's a little bit non-traditional. It's not a full garage, it's more of a storage garage. You could fit a motorcycle or a bunch of bikes and a trainer and a foldable treadmill. So I'll show you how I do that. Voila. So here we have it. Very skinny garage. It's small but mighty. I live with my girlfriend, and together we have managed to convert this into a perfect training space with basically everything we need. So right now my girlfriend Iris's bike is on the trainer. She was riding Zwift last night. So first things first, we got to take that off. So TT bike lives over here, but I'm actually riding the road bike today because it's not a specific session that is out in the hall. So before I go and get that, I'll give you a little tour of the place. AC unit, essential, not really for this time of year, but in the summer months, once it heats up, this will be key. And a positive of having the room so small is that it's really easy to heat it up and cool it down. So I have just a little space heater right here. And even just that tiny thing can get the room pretty hot in not a lot of time, and the AC unit has no problem cooling the room down. Here we have the Wahoo Kicker Core. I bought the Zwift cog for the trainer because I have SRAM 12 speed on both my bike. Iris has Shimano 10 speed maybe? Yeah, I wasn't gonna be changing the cassette on and off. So yeah, the Zwift cog, obviously it's just this one cog back here, controller up here to shift the resistance, to virtually shift gears. I won't be using that today because I'm on erg mode. All right, road bike is all set up. I do just have to switch the pedals over from the TT bike onto the road. But yeah, it's time to ride 4 hours with a little bit of tempo. And yeah, we'll check in afterwards. Almost forgot a very important step. The fan. So yeah, obviously very small space, but I think we're about as efficient as we can possibly be with the space that we're given. Yeah, it takes a little bit of startup to get things going sometimes, switching bikes around and whatnot, but I make it work, and yeah, it's really everything that I need.
So the ride was good and the weather was kind of nice outside, so I ended up running outside, but I wanted to include a video of the treadmill setup anyway. Basically, I get the trainer out of the way, the table out of the way, and then I'm ready to roll out the treadmill, plug it in, unfold the arms, unfold the platform, and from there it's ready to go. That's it. Super easy. Just need to clear out a bit of space. And that's my indoor setup. Thanks for watching, guys.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ari Lagerstrom. This is Paula and my garage tour. Paula is my wife. She's behind the camera. We make up that triathlon life. We're both professional athletes, triathletes to be specific, and this is our sweet garage. This is our little dog, little tiny dog. So yeah, we got a dog bed in here so he can hang out with us. This is the shop space. People come over to work on their bikes. I work on people's bikes. This is like absolutely my dream shop. This is a bit of our gym space for the winter time. A gym ball, kettlebells, just some of the basics. Starting all the way down here, we got the Kicker Run. This is amazing. You set this up with Zwift. It'll actually control the elevation gradient. It's got free run mode, which just means the closer you are to the front of the treadmill, it speeds up. There's a sweet spot where it just holds pace. And if you slow down, it slows down. So you have this natural running sort of feel. It also goes up to 15%, which is really special for me now that I'm doing some ultra running. This is the newest piece of kit. And I gotta admit, I was not sold on this. Ian Boswell told me that he loved this. This is the Wahoo Kicker Bike Pro. And I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I've done a few rides on it. And ride number one, I was sold. Absolutely love it. I'm just gonna give a demonstration here. This is probably the biggest selling point for me. It's nearly silent. Relative to a kicker, even just like the Kicker Move or the standard kicker, so quiet. You have buttons on here for controlling Zwift, workouts, Wahoo system. Paula and I can both use this. It's super easy to adjust. Usually we just have marks for where our bike positions are, and you can adjust length, height of everything, multiple different crank length options. So cool. Thought I was not gonna like it. Really like it. Each station has a Wahoo Kicker fan. These things are awesome. You hook them up to your whole system, and basically if you go faster, they go faster. Real world wind feel, and they just put off an insane amount of air. Right now, Paula's been using this. This is the Kicker Move. She goes back and forth between full move mode and locked mode, which is just like traditional, but it's nice to have the option. Real world feel versus locked in. I guess the last thing I'll say, we always get a lot of questions about these audio stands, these TV stands. These are Audio 2000 or something like that. Each one of these TVs just has a Apple TV on the back. So we run all the Zwift and everything off of Apple TV. Winter's coming, we're gonna spend a lot of time in here.
Hey guys, you ready to go do some weights? Theo's ready. Probably my favorite room in the house. All right, so I am out here almost every day, either doing some sort of mobility, foam rolling, stretching at minimum, and then a couple times a week for strength. We set this up again during COVID because obviously gyms were closed, and then we've acquired pieces throughout the years. So, all right, so I guess we can start with this wall over here because we use this quite a bit. We have a whole bunch of kettlebells, a sandbag, all of the weights, and then this is the PRX wall mount for the bar, pull-ups. Yeah, it's really very versatile. So you can see I have the bands on it to do a lot of banded exercises, the bars, and other different pieces of accessory equipment here. A sled. I did a lot of sled pulling, also kind of during COVID, interestingly enough. The battle ropes, which have come into play sometimes, not recently. The landmine over there on the floor, which I use. A lot of different bands and jump rope, flow rope. Those are things that I use quite regularly. Swim paddles, which I mostly just travel with. And then over here with the GHD machine, again, which we use. Step up, you can see some ab rollers down there. ball. We have the fan up there for when it's hot out here because it can get pretty warm in the summer. And then we have, I forget what this thing is called, but it's to really help develop your hamstring strength. And then we have, this is really nice, the power blocks. So each one of these goes up to 50 pounds. So now you don't have to have, and they start at 5 pounds. So you can have anywhere from between 5 to 50 pounds in 2.5 pound increments, which is really nice. We have, of course, all the little medicine balls, various sizes, different weights. Yeah, foam rollers, mats, pads, Bosu balls, and then I use this quite a bit too. So there you have it. Yeah, pretty awesome room. I never have to leave the house. This is just a guest room in our house that we converted to our training room. Pretty much everything that we could possibly have crammed in here. I guess I can start with the bikes, considering this is what we use pretty much all the time. We have 2 bikes on here. We both have them both on the rocker Saris plates because I spend literally all of my time training here. This is where I do the vast majority of all my riding is inside. Generally I do, over 90% of my training is here. Yeah, I just find it to be efficient and safe, and I can just get really good quality here. So yeah, set up on the Wahoo kicker. We'll run Zwift on here. I'm level 100 on Zwift and I can't go any higher. So anyways, a few little motivational, inspirational things that some people have given to me and made for me over the years. We have a table for fuel and towels. Of course, a really large TV because all we do is binge watch everything. We have the fans. So 2 big air movers here for myself. I don't always use those. It just kind of depends on the temperature, time of year, workout, etc. We do have a fan, box fan in the window, and we use that almost every time that we're in here. I do heat training in here, but I'll just put on some sauna clothes or extra clothes and then not have the fans on, or I can have a fan on to move air so that I don't choke to death. Anyways, Andrew set up, and then here. So you might be interested to know what this big device is. That is the LightSpeed lift. It's kind of like a lever, so we have a lever, which we will travel with occasionally, depending on where we're going for how long we're staying. But yeah, this thing is more stationary. And so as you can see, you just put on the shorts, and then these Velcro to the shorts, you clip those in to the bars here, and then it will reduce your weight. Andrew uses this all the time for training, for running, mostly. I use it more occasionally. Again, just depends. Those are all Andrew's shoes, just to be clear. Let's see what else. Yeah, we have a Vasa. We got this during COVID, and I use it a lot during COVID. You can see all of my workouts that I had up here that I did for COVID. And I don't use it as much anymore. Again, just more occasionally. So this is where I spend a lot of time. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I would change. Maybe if anything, if I could do some temperature control in here, that would be really cool. But that's not really a good idea with, I guess, the structure of the floors in the house in and of itself. So yeah, other than that, we're pretty pleased. We've had this since late 2019, maybe 2020 set up, early 2020 set up like this. So flooring is just a rubber squares. So there you go.
All right, here we go. Here's the winter training space. Honestly, just the gym. Use it all year. Have some turf in here because we've got a little bit of sled pushing that we could do going on. Some of the weights are scattered around right now. Got a cable machine, pull-up bar with TRX. and a whole bunch of disorganized weights and bands at the moment, as well as Garmin trainer, Tax trainer that I'll hop on all the time. So that kind of gives you an idea right there. And then just a quick walk over for a transition run, not too far, just had to move the treadmill into that corner of the garage.